Hi, welcome to the part dedicated to the to the diode mode. So this is a very hard part. So if you don't feel enough confident to make very tiny job, go directly to the part 5 because you may damage your RF chip. Okay, but in any case, you have to know that in the last situation you can buy a CYRF module from the Devo7E, if I'm not wrong, and this module can be installed. So even if you fail this part, the diode mode, you have at least you can save your Devo7E controller by installing this module. I will describe all the material we need. First things, you will need to desolder. So you need a desolder pump, of course. Okay. You will probably need some solder, okay, like this. Some solder wick also can be useful for remove the small details. Okay, when it starts to be desoldered. Some flux can be also useful. And personally, I've got also a kind of desolder pump, if you can see here. Okay, maybe I will use, but I will try to not use it because it's not everyone got such tools. When you will remove the antenna and the metallic casing, so probably you will need a twist to add a bit to remove the metallic casing. You will need very thin wires to make the diode mode, or to make this jump. Maybe it would be useful, or you can use some contact ink. It can be used also, I heard about. For the part 4, but I can start to mention, since I will remove this current antenna, because I want to install a PACMA connector on the top in order to fix my own antenna. So I will probably also in the part 5 I will see this antenna. But the first things is to start to warm the soldering stations, and start to remove gently the all the 1, 2, 3 inside, in there, 4, 5 and 6 parts. So you have a lot of project here, so it will take time, abuse of the jump and so on. So you will need, of course, a good soldering. Solder iron. Well, this one is not great, but at least the scene is more or less okay. Imagine that you have to, for example, you have to work with capacity even smaller than this one. So you can imagine how it will be an hard job to do. Okay, it will be even thinner than this one. Okay, so be aware. I guess it will be a job like this. So you have to be extremely vigilant when you will work, when you will access to the internal part of the RF chip. Okay, so now I will start to heat the iron. Okay, before to start the soldering job, my iron is start to solder. On the antenna you have some little part of glue, so use a tiny tweezer to remove it. Okay, gently, because it will probably create some interferences in your desoldering process. So I will use this, I don't know where to install that, but maybe to make the part more solid. So it can be removed gently, yes. You have to gently remove this glue. I think it will, little by little, like this. Be aware. Yes, after it will be access to the antenna connector. I guess it's to protect, and you will be, I hope you can see, I hope to. Yes, So we start to see the internal connector. Of course, your best friend will be this kind of magnifiers without. It's very important to have such also tools. If you don't have it, don't start this job, because it's very important to have this kind of magnifiers, or it's very at least 20 part. Okay. So I start to come. With finger, maybe sometimes there is one here yet. So you can start to see that become more brilliant, so it means that I'm acceding to the this one is okay. I have to check with my magnifier. Okay, so between there. Okay, it's coming. So it's the first step before to access to the any element, to remove this not huge amount of glue, but it's very well inserted. So now maybe you can see it's more visible, and it will be more easier to desolder the antenna. So two ground, one and second, and the inner part, which is the main lead antenna connector. Okay, so it was the first part of this job. Now I will start to maybe use some flux like this to have the lower the temperature for desoldering, maybe, and use my pump and ring. Okay. So as you can see, now the glue is perfectly removed. Okay, I hope you can see. So I will be able to attack now the soldering job. So we'll probably use a tiny amount of tiny, not so tiny. It's emerging like this in order to decrease the temperature. Okay. So you have to insert everywhere. Okay, I will start the process now. So I'm not a big specialist, but I will try. Okay, so on the arm, let's say. Okay, I use another soldering jump, so more powerful, older, but more strong to melt the amount of solder. This is melting. So use such and little by little it's coming. So to disorder this parts, this you need a strong one. It's coming. Clean with your okay, it's more or less okay for this one. It will be removed more easily now. So make the big one. I can see it's much more easier. soldering job. Heat. Now you can use this more is done. Very useful tool. And pull. Okay. It would come now more or less the last point. So it should be more or less disordered. I would start to be able to remove the metallic cover. Okay, little by little. I will now try to completely remove the metallic cover. Okay, in order to remove the metallic, you need a very thin twiter and start to push on the corner. Okay, like this, and after use slightly larger screwdriver, for example, and try like this, and after try to hit the corner by pressing. It will little by little he will raise the corner, and I think he will be able to remove one coin, and after the opposite one here. Okay, as you may see, I hit, and one is already removed, so it will be much more easier now. So simply try to raise the metallic. Try to tie the joint. So now it's coming. Oh, it's maybe an amazing, wow, so tiny job. It's just so tiny. It's just amazing small. It's unbelievable. Will be very hard to do. Okay, I remove the stuff. I hope it will be possible to see. But if I'm not wrong, the one to remove should be around here. Now the moment of truth will come. So if I can make a cloud up, you have two shortcuts. On the top right you have three caps for resistance, and this is a quartz there, and you have two on vertical, one on the top, one here, you can see. So this is the top one, two shortcuts. So you have two options, maybe install some solder to covering both pads, or to install small wires. So I hope you can see. Yes. Yes. Try to install the. So this is this top one there. So it's a very tiny job. So I applied some flag there to help a bit the soldering jobs. So you have absolutely to need to use a magnifier for sure. So as you can see, I will use my magnifier, and well, as pre-training I will start to see if I can reach with a screwdriver the part without trembling, my hands trembling. Okay. I will prepare this small wire I will use. So just small and a very slight amount of connector of solder on the extremity, just a very slight one. Clean well your tip. Bind your wire. Clean. Okay, as you can see, I finished the jobs. And the trick is to well, to unnake a small part of the wire and to solder, apply some flux, and after that cut the wire. So if you could unnake the inner connector from 2-3 millimeters, maybe 2, should be do the job. You can make the bridge there. So test with digital multimeter if there are no contact with the other caps. So I don't have. I hope it should work. So now I will unsolder the antenna and install a new one, because I'm planning to install more one where I can solder RG 316 coax cable.